The midday heat shimmered across broken pavement as Captain Alina Reyes, 36, eased her faded Navy hatchback into the lot of a shuttered garage in West Maddox. Her phone buzzed weakly, struggling to recalibrate a route to Meridian General, the hospital where her father lay, clinging to life. Beads of sweat traced down her cheek, but she kept her posture straight, her breath measured. She wore a plain-duty military uniform, unadorned, the kind that said authority without invitation. Still, in this forgotten slice of the city, just her presence, a Latino woman in command, was enough to provoke attention. A white cruiser drifted in with a sudden stop. No lights, no sirens. Two men stepped out, one large and ruddy-faced, already postured like he wanted trouble. The other, thin, smirking like the scene was a joke only he understood. Well, the heavy one muttered, eyeing her up and down. Somebody's playing dress-up. Alina didn't flinch. Can I help you, officers? The lanky one snickered. Nice get-up. Thrift store? Or did you swipe it off someone? I'm a captain in the U.S. Armed Forces, she said, cool and steady. They traded glances like she'd just claimed to be an astronaut. Captain, huh, the bigger one said with a mocking laugh. You got any ID to go with that fantasy? I'm not obligated to justify myself to you, especially not without probable cause. The thin one stepped forward, hand on cuffs. How about we sort out down at the precinct? You're out of line, she said, her voice tightening. You detain me without cause, and you'll regret it. Not in this zip code. You won't, the big man sneered. She didn't move. This uniform represents the very law you're about to violate. His teeth clenched. Ands, now, back off, she warned. One more step, and this won't end your way. That did it. He lunged, wrenching her arm behind her. Pain bloomed in her shoulder as she was slammed against the hood. Her face scraped metal. Warm blood mixed with sweat. The lean officer chuckled. Where's all that military pride now, huh? She barely rasped out. You've already lost. Lady, nobody's going to believe you, he scoffed. It's your word versus ours. Alina laughed, dry and guttural. It stopped them cold. What's funny? The bulky one, Granger, asked. You just lit a fire you can't put out. Her swollen, I flicked toward her phone by the curb. She twisted away with practiced ease and darted toward it. Hey, the thin one, Curtis shouted, lunging. Too late. She thumbed in a sequence, put the phone to her ear. Command Control, this is Captain Reyes. Situation code Indigo. Officer assault. Coordinates active. A pause. Then a calm voice. Confirmed, Captain. Response en route. Maintain position. Granger staggered back like he'd taken a hit. No way. She's bluffing. Curtis paled, lips parted but silent. I warned you, Alina said. The voice over the phone returned. Base command notified. Air and ground response in motion. ETA 5. Granger stammered. We didn't know. We thought. Thought what? She snapped. That someone like me couldn't hold rank? That you could do whatever you wanted without consequence? Curtis tried to smooth things over. Look, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. You'll explain it, she interrupted. To your sergeant. Then internal affairs. Then a congressional panel. Sirens began to echo in the distance, steady, focused. From the air, the rhythmic thump of rotors approached. Alina narrowed her gaze. I recommend you don't move. Curtis stepped back, his posture shifting to fear. Granger stood frozen. This isn't over, he muttered. She said nothing. He snapped. With a shout, he snatched her phone and hurled it to the ground. The screen burst apart. Then he stomped on it. There's your precious call, he snarled. Still, she didn't flinch. Her eyes were sharp steel. Curtis panicked at her silence. Grabbing her hair, he yanked her head back. You really think you can walk around like you own the place? Alina braced as his hand rose. Then, a matte black SUV turned the corner without fanfare. It stopped smoothly. The door swung open. A woman stepped out, blonde hair pinned tight, uniform pristine, boots striking the pavement like a countdown. Officers, she said with command. Let her go. Now. Curtis froze. Who the hell are you? She held out a case folder, red seal flashing. Supervisory Agent Kara Holt, Department of Army Criminal Division. Her tone dropped. You're both under arrest for federal obstruction, battery, and tampering with military communication. Alina cracked a small smile. Curtis still gripped her. Holt stepped closer. 3 seconds. Let go, or I unholster. 1. Granger dropped his cuffs with a clatter. 2. Curtis finally backed off. Kneel. Hands up. Now. Granger shouted. She attacked us. She's not who she says she. Holt silenced him with a swift takedown, pinning him face first to the pavement. Every word you say now builds your sentence. Curtis tried to run. From the other side of the SUV, a tall, quiet agent emerged. A man built like a tank, skin dark as stone. He didn't hesitate. Curtis was on the ground in seconds, gasping. I didn't know, he whimpered. I didn't know who she was. The second agent snarled, and now everyone will. The sound of cuffs echoed louder than the blades overhead. Alina watched. Her uniform was stained, her lips still bleeding, but her spine hadn't bent an inch. Before Holt left, she turned. Captain Reyes, General Holbrook requests you stay on site. Full escalation underway. This is top-tier priority now. Alina nodded. Understood. I'm sorry, Holt added. We should have had you back sooner. Alina didn't answer. She didn't have to. 3 days later, leaked surveillance footage lit up national news. 2 local officers arrested after assaulting Army captain. Federal response activated. Alina watched from a chair in Meridian General's ICU lobby. Her father dozed nearby. She declined all interviews, never released a statement. The footage spoke for itself. By week's end, both officers were indicted. Assault, abuse of power, interference in a federal operation. The West Maddox PD posted a vague press release about cooperation with federal partners. No one believed a word. Back at Fort Chamberlain, Alina returned in full uniform. No parade, no speeches, just rows of soldiers standing at attention. Later that night, she sat before her bedroom mirror. Her reflection stared back, bruised but unbroken. She unlaced her boots slowly. Then, for the first time in years, tears came. Not out of fear, not from pain, but from the weight of what she'd survived, what she'd fought, what she had proven. This time, the silence didn't win. And next time, anyone like Granger and Curtis would think twice. Captain Alina Reyes didn't seek recognition. She never wore her rank for applause, only for purpose. But in that shattered moment on a cracked street, she forced a system to face itself. Not with violence, with truth, training, and unshakable resolve. What happened to her wasn't an isolated incident. It was a mirror, reflecting every time power tried to silence dignity. Yet this time, the silence cracked. The rotors, the boots, the voice on the line, they weren't just backup. They were validation. Now, somewhere in a courtroom, 2 former officers sit, stripped of badges they once abused. Somewhere in a military base, recruits train under the quiet strength of a woman who stood her ground. And somewhere beyond the headlines, Alina walks forward, not as a symbol, but as a soldier who refused to be dismissed. She didn't need the world to cheer. She needed it to change. And it did. Not all at once. Not forever. But enough to remind those watching. The next time injustice decides to knock, someone like Alina Reyes will already be standing at the door.